Okay, this video is going to show you how to make Inventor practice shapes number 5, which looks like this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Most of you are probably quite capable of making this really quickly, so I'm just going to kind of go through it fast. They give you overall dimensions for the depth of the object, the height, and then they're missing a few dimensions here, which are not necessary because these all equal the same length. And they don't give you a dimension right here for the actual radius of this arc because they've technically given it to you right here, letting you know that it's 15. So we're going to make this first one, which is in inches. So new part, English standard part. Once the file opens, just go ahead and create a new sketch. So start new sketch. I'm going to choose XY plane, and I'm going to go ahead and draw the outline of this shape. So overall the height is 35. Hit the front button so I can kind of center it so I can at least see this part. And then I know that it goes over 15 on the top on this side, and it's going to do the same over here. So I'm going to go over 15. We go down 10, over 15, back up 10 because it's over here. So 10, 15. You can either type in 10 or just lock it in place. We're going to go over to the right 15 and go all the way down and make sure that it's lined up. Now you could close this off if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm going to make this arc portion next. The arc can be done really easily using arc and center point. So I'm going to find the center of the shape because it is in the middle based on what we see right here. You'll see the dotted line pop up, and then I'll go down here and I'm going to click and I'm going to go to left or the right and hit 15 because that's how tall it's telling me that it is. So once you do that, you get this little arc that you can make. You go ahead and make it all the way to the other side, left click, go to your line tool, close this side, hit finish, hit the home button so it actually zooms out and you can see it, and hit extrude. It should auto highlight. If it doesn't, go ahead and select it, and we're going to extrude it by 40. Set it to 40, hit OK. The home button, make sure my shape is in the correct view. Go up here and change your color. It doesn't really matter what color you change it to. Hit OK. And then take your screenshot and put it in your Word document. The next shape that we're going to make right here, again, is done in inches. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new part. You have that started up. XY plane. And this can be done a couple of different ways. The way I'm going to do it is draw this from a face down view or top down view and get the overall shape and then just start adding parts on. So I'm going to start with the 60 overall. I'm going to go ahead and make a rectangle that is 60 in length. I just typed 50, so go ahead and go back and adjust that. 60, and then the depth on this is 9 plus 12 plus 9, or you can go up here and look, and they give you that dimension because they've given you the diameter for this arc right here. So we're going to go with 30. 30. Then I'm going to hit the front button so it zooms out. I can see the overall shape. So I basically have everything on here except for this arc on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and create that arc. I can either use center point or I can use 3 point. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to use 3 point this time. Click here, here, and then I'm going to bring this out and set it to 15 because that's half of 30, which is the diameter. So I have that in place. The next thing I'm going to do is while I'm here, I'm going to get this cutout section that they have. And I can see that there's a dimension for 9 and 9. It's the same as on this corner. So I'm going to go ahead and use the rectangle tool. I'm going to make a 9 by 9 square. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. hit enter. And then I'm going to use the line tool and I'm going to close this off. Now there are other ways that this could be done. This is what you know how to currently do. So I'm going to hit escape and I'm going to just delete these extra lines so that I have just that angle, because I'm going to cut that out. When I extrude this, I just want to extrude this part and this part. So I'm going to go ahead and finish. Hit my home view so I can see it. And I'm going to extrude it up to this point first and set it to 9. So hit extrude, click here and here, set it to 9. And then I'm going to rotate my image so that it's close to the layout that it has here. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to set current view as fit to view. That way, whenever I hit the home button, this is going to be my view. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create this portion right here. I'm going to start a sketch on the surface up here. And really simple, I can use the arc tool to duplicate this. Then I can use the line tool to go over 18, over 30, and then back 18. So 18, cross 30, and back here. So I've done that. I'm going to finish. I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to go up the remaining distance. Now you can either do the math really quick, 30 minus 9 is 21, or if you want, you can put 30 minus 9 and it will do the math for you. Whichever is your preferred method, doesn't matter to me. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the hole in the top really quick. So start a sketch on the top. The center of this hole is lined up with the edge right here. So right here. And I want to find the center point. Right there. You should see the green dot. It tells me the radius is 7.5. So it's giving me a radius. When we make a circle, it's not actually the radius, it's the diameter. So make sure that you put that in. So 7.5, and then you can multiply it by 2 times 2, and it will make your circle for you. Once you have that, finish the sketch, hit extrude, set it to cut, and I'm just going to drag it because I know I want it to go all the way through, and hit OK. So I now have the hole in the top, and now we're going to do this triangle portion. Now, there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could start a sketch on this surface, make a rectangle, extrude it out, and then chop off the top of the triangle. But we're going to do something a little different. We're going to place a plane right down the middle by going to mid-plane, between two planes, click on this side and this side. So it gives us a drawing surface to work with. Start sketch on this surface. And I'm going to draw that triangle all the way down to the edge. And then I'm going to continue to here. Close it off. Hit finish sketch. Now I just need to know how wide it is, and it's 7. So I'm going to hit extrude. I'm going to change it to symmetric. Okay, so if you click on it, you can see the different ones. Symmetric, and I'm going to put it at 7, and it will evenly distribute that 7 on both sides. And I'm going to hit OK. Now I want to get rid of this, so right click on it and turn the visibility off. Home view. Just like this. Give it a color. Really doesn't matter what color you end up giving it. I don't care. As long as it's something that's easy to see. Hit OK. And your shape should look like that. Go ahead and screenshot it, save it, put it on a Word document. Please make sure you're saving your files. The next one that we are going to be working on, I didn't even check. It's a millimeter, so I got to go ahead and delete this one. New part file, metric, standard mm.ipt. We'll open this one up. Now this one, a little bit different. A couple ways you can do this. I'm going to go ahead and start by making the overall L shape of this, which has an overall height of 75 and a length of 100. So I'm going to go ahead and start a sketch. I'm going to draw an L that is 100. I'm going to come back over to this side, and it has a height of 75. Hit the front button so I can actually see everything. It has a thickness or a length right here of 15. I'm going to go ahead and hit 15, and then I'm going to go down the distance that it tells me to go down here, and it gives us the distance from this portion right here, which is 40, and then it gives us the distance here, which is 16. So you just add those up. 40 plus 16 or 56, hit enter, and then you can just close this out and go all the way over. So I'm going to line it up. Close this, hit finish sketch, hit the home button. Now it zoomed out a little weird, and that's fine. We're going to do the overall, which is 64 for the depth of this object. So change it to 64. And then I'm going to rotate this now. And I think this will be the right view. Right click, home, set current view as fit to view. Now my home view is set as this. So there shouldn't be any issues. Once you have that done, we're going to go ahead and do this cut through the bottom part. Some people may look at this and think that it's difficult to make. It's actually pretty straightforward and easy. So we'll go ahead and start a sketch on this front portion. And we're going to use a tool that we haven't used before. You don't have to use it, but I'm going to go ahead and use it just so you can see it. It's called the construction tool. So I'm going to click this, and it makes any of my lines guide lines. So I'm just going to use this as a guide. I find the center point, and I'm going to go up. It tells me the height of this is 12. It tells you right here. It tells you right here. So I'm going to go up 12. And hopefully it doesn't go sideways like mine just did. But if it does, try it again. We'll go up 12. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make a line. I'm going to turn the construction line off. This is more of a guide for me now. And then I can reselect my lines. And I'm going to make a line that is 30 in length. And if the center point is here, I need to make it 15 this way. Don't know why I went to an angle. I'm going to undo that. Needs to go 15 this way. And then it needs to go 15 in this direction. Then what we're going to do is we're going to make a line. And I'm actually going to delete these dimensions so that they're not in the way. Or actually, I'll bring them out here so they're kind of up and out of the way. So I'm going to make a line. This line right here that goes down. And it tells you that the angle of this line is at 60 degrees. Well, on this side, when I make the line, I'm not going to actually give it a measurement. I'm going to hit the tab key and go over here and type 60. Then I'm going to hit tab again. This allows me to move my angle to 60 degrees and click on that point. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, except for I'm going in the opposite direction with my degrees. So I'm not going to type 60 because it'll move it that way. What I'm going to do is take 180 degrees and subtract the 60, because if you make the line from here to here is 180. So instead of going that way, we'll type 120 for the degrees. And then we bring it down here. And then I'm going to close this portion. Once you have that closed, finish the sketch, hit extrude, and we're going to hit cut. I'm just going to drag it all the way through. Hit OK. So that goes completely through the object like it shows on this picture right here. So we have that portion done. Now we can do the cutout on the top, and this can be done a couple of ways. I'm going to show you a new tool. Since they give you an equal distance here and here, we're going to do this an easier way than doing a drawing on this file. We're going to go to chamfer, and you're going to go right down here to the to distance option, and you're going to set this to 16 and this one to 16. And you're going to click on the corner, and you're going to hit OK. And you're going to do the same thing on this side, and you're going to hit OK. This now chamfers both of those sides, and you don't have to worry about doing a drawing on here. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to place a plane again, mid plane. Same way we did it last time. Click here, click here. We have our mid plane. We're going to go ahead and start a sketch on it. Now, when we create this one, it's showing that the triangle goes up 40, and then it goes over 70 based on this dimension and this dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and make a line that goes over 70. And then I'm going to make a line that goes up 40. And then I'm going to connect them. Finish my sketch. Hit the extrude button. Make sure it's symmetric. Set it to 12. Hit OK. Right click. Change the visibility off. And your shape should look like the shape that is in the picture. So pretty close. Okay. I know it might look a little bit different based on this picture, but that's okay. So give it a color. Hit OK, screenshot it, save it, put it in your Word document. The next shape right here, this one is done in millimeters as well. We're going to go ahead and hit Start Sketch. I'm sorry, New Part. Millimeters. Start Sketch. Choose your plane. And we're going to go ahead and make this from... We're going to make the base portion right here a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and start our sketch, which I already did, but I just closed it. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the profile view of this bottom portion right here. And it gives us a thickness of 19. So I'm going to start with making a circle, and I'm going to make this first circle right here that they give us a diameter of 22 for. 22. And then I'm going to make the outside arc that they give us, which has a radius of 32. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my arc center point tool. And they say it's 32. Hit enter. Bring it around like this. So we have the beginning. And then I'm going to go straight across from here all the way over here, 114. Your line straight. Just like they have over here. So it tells you it's 114, and that gives us our other center point. So I'm going to bring this down here and line this up. And we're just going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to go ahead and put my other circle right here. And you'll see it locks into place. And I'm going to do my other 1 point arc, or I'm sorry, center point arc. Click here. So I have that. Now we have this extra line here. What I'm going to do is we're going to use this tool right here, and it's going to allow us to trim. We can cut off this piece that we don't need. And then we can hit escape, and then we can left click on this one and hit delete with the delete key. Once we have done that, you should have something that kind of looks like this. So we'll go ahead and extrude this up 19. So finish sketch, button, hit extrude. And we just want that part. And we're going to set it to 19. And I'm actually going to rotate this a little bit because I want it to be in this view. So set current view as home, fit to view, so that we begin to get that outline. And then we're going to go ahead and make this square portion that we have on the top. So it's a 64 by 64 square that is right in the middle. And they're giving us distance here, distance here, distance here. So we're going to start a sketch on the surface and rectangle, 2-point center. And we're going to find right in the middle, which right there. And they said it was 64 by 64. So we're going to do 64 by 64. And you can see that it lines up. We are going to finish the sketch, hit extrude, and we're going to bring this up 45 based on that dimension. So 45. And then we have some little areas in here that we can kind of cut out. Now there's a couple of different ways that this can be done. I'm going to go ahead and start a sketch on the top portion. And I'm going to make a line that goes over 13 because it's telling me the thickness of this all the way around is 13. I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. 13 here. And then I'm going to go all the way this way. And if you don't know the measurement for it, you just take the 64 minus the 13. 4 minus 13. And hopefully it goes the correct direction. If it doesn't, try it again. 64 minus 13 goes to 51. The width right here is 38. So set it to 38, hit enter, and then we'll go ahead and close this. And we're actually going to just close this portion right here because this is a part eventually that we will kind of cut down. And I kind of want to have that as a guide. So there are a couple of different ways I could do this. I could cut this down using the chamfer tool. A few different ways. Okay, but I'm not really going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and extrude this down. And we're going to extrude this down 19. It's going a little bit lower than this line. So when we hit extrude, it's going to cut in, but it's going to kind of cut straight down. So we're going to be adding some stuff back onto it the way that I'm showing you how to do it. It's not the only way. There are other ways that you can do that. But we're going to go ahead and finish the sketch, extrude this down, and I'm going to cut, and it's going to go down a total of 45. And then a couple of extra, because we want to make sure the thickness is 13. So you can take the 19 minus 13, okay, and add that onto this to get that little bit of extra depth there. So 45 to here, and then that extra little bit down. So 45 plus 6. And we get it slightly down like that. Now, we're missing that angle. Now, I could have done it another way, but I want you to practice kind of using a certain tool, the plane tool. So we're going to use the mid planes again between here and here, so it's right in the middle. And we're going to start a drawing on this surface that we just made. And I'm going to hit F7, like I showed you guys earlier. And we're going to draw a triangle going from this edge down to this edge to here and up. Finish the sketch, hit extrude, select that, set it to symmetric, and make sure, and honestly, it really doesn't matter if you extrude it 45 plus 6 or if you set it to 38, because as long as it doesn't go out the other side, you should be okay. So I'm going to set it to 38. Hit OK, right click on this, turn the visibility off, hit the home button, and now my shape looks like that shape. Give it a color. Doesn't really matter. Hit OK. Save it, screenshot it, put it in a Word document. Okay. Once you're done with that one, the last part is going to be this one. We're going to hold off and make that one in the next video. If you are struggling to make it, don't worry. Take your time with it. Try to make it. If you're unable to, you utilize the next video.